Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. I am your host Sleepy Celestial. So guys, welcome to part 5 of my Beyonce experience on my channel. We are covering and decoding the Cowboy Carter as well as the 3-act trilogies and what comes after Cowboy Carter. Now, I'm having this cover here because we have a lot to talk about. There's a lot of research that I've done that's gonna shock a lot of you guys even more. So Lady Gaga released Mayhem on March 7th. It was a Friday. And Lady Gaga did an interview. And the interview came out and she said that Telphone Part 2 is on its way. Now, not only this shocks a lot of people, but this ties into what I'm about to say. Remember last year when Usher did the Super Bowl and Lady Gaga was sitting right next to Beyonce looking stunning and nobody knew Beyonce was about to drop a country album and Lady Gaga was dressed up as her 2017 Super Bowl performances? What if I tell you you don't have two mega artists like this sitting down like nothing is going on and they're kikiing and the fact that they're about to snatch everybody's freaking edges off, right? So Lady Gaga released her album this year, her 7th studio album. Beyonce released her 8th studio album, Cowboy Carter, which is part of the 3-act trilogies. Beyonce has been referencing those 3 acts since the Black is King era. Now, what's crazy, in one video, in one commercial, she released 3 poses. The first pose was Renaissance, the second pose was freaking country, and then the third pose is rock. And then out of nowhere, from the Super Bowl commercial, she released 2 singles out of her highly anticipated album of the year, Cowboy Carter, which won Best Country Album as well. Now, and won Best Duo with Miley Cyrus. So, where I'm going with this is this. Beyonce is a mastermind of Easter eggs and strategy. Due to the fact that if you look past on the board of the Renaissance and Cowboy Carter, you would realize that Beyonce has been teasing us with telephone tease since the very beginning. The first commercial or trailer that she did, which was referencing the impact of what the Cowboy Carter is going to bring, was that not only she referenced it, but if you look back 15 years ago, the way they were dressed, it almost felt like they swapped, I would say, personalities, but they swapped some sort of their careers in a weird way where Beyonce became more experimental, right? And going to a more interesting directory. Whereas Lady Gaga challenged her persona and she almost as if created a alter ego with this Mayhem character. And you could even see the stars in the background indicating that it's some sort of a shift. And I've been referencing this because when Lady Gaga confirmed that Telephone Part 2 will be coming shortly, but she don't know when, indicating she knows. And I think they were talking about this when Usher was performing at the Super Bowl last year. And I think they came to that conclusion just to snatch our fucking heads off. And looking at the way they dressed, that dark theme that Beyonce was dressing as, whereas Lady Gaga was dressing this bubbly color. So imagine they swap colors. Lady Gaga wore all black, which is for the Mayhem, and then Beyonce went and with this more color appeal for Cowboy Carter. And you could even see that within Telephone, there's been even more Easter eggs than I ever thought, because when Lady Gaga picked up the phone and like basically started singing like hello, hello baby, right? The way Lady Gaga was dressed, she looked like a rock star. She dressed like a edgy rock star, and Lady Gaga is known for her vocals. When she sing rock, she has this edginess to her. And I think this is crazy because when you look at when Lady Gaga was picking up the phone prior to how Beyonce was dressed, Beyonce looked like a country girl with the hat sitting there, right? Indicating she was in the future, she would have gone country. So when they said to be continued, and then Lady Gaga confirmed that Telphone Part 2 will be a thing, everybody that was in that crowd interview lost their minds. But we just don't know how this is gonna collide. And I feel, and I said this, and I'm confirming this, Mayhem Tour will somewhat collide with Cowboy Carter. In some weird way fashion, it will happen. Because this will make perfect sense to what she has planned for Act 3. And I think Act 3 will come sooner than we think. And the fact that she only referencing things in the States, which I haven't realized if she's going overseas after she covered things in the Americas, to go overseas to Cowboy Carter will be like overseas. I'm not sure. But if you look at everything, how Telphone is lined up, the pop, very pop culture, bold colors that it has, and then when they said to be continued, looking at 15 years later now, how the landscape of music has changed, the same road that they were driving on, it almost felt like they both split ways. Beyonce took another car and kind of like revamp and change her personality to be on the road for Cowboy Carter, and then Lady Gaga went on a darker route with Mayhem. And it seems as if these two are gonna meet in some way or form with Chromatica, then now Mayhem, and then with Renaissance and now Cowboy Carter. This is a perfect mix. Now remember I said this, Lady Gaga was the very first person that kind of teased that Beyonce was working on Renaissance. When she received the Tricon Award in 2020, and she's the first artist to even receive that, she literally kind of referenced, she was like, there's a Renaissance coming. I feel there's a Renaissance about to begin, and I hope you guys are excited. Flash forward backwards, we saw when Beyonce released Self-Titled, which is the Platinum Edition, it kind of referenced to the tour cover that she has. She has this platinum hair, but it's braided. It's reminding me of Lemonade, but it's also reminding me of Self-Titled Platinum Edition. So when she do her set list for the tour, she's gonna reference Self-Titled, and she's gonna reference Lemonade a lot. I think these are gonna be very interesting how she transitioned parts of Lemonade to Cowboy Carter. Also, the Echoes of America has a interesting reference when she did that with Travis Scott. She's referencing American Requiem, but in a way where those albums, once they're all complete, once the trilogy is complete, it's gonna echo back. So I think, let me just speculate now, her 10th album might be something very interesting. And I'm gonna say one thing. When Beyonce met with the original Destiny's Child ladies, I don't think they just hugged and kissed and got emotional. I think they got something even more bigger in plan. Because Beyonce has been taking pictures with each of the Destiny's Child ladies, and that I feel that there's a group reunion coming after those 3 acts. You could mark it today. Today is April 2nd, 2025. If it ever happens in the future, you know where you heard it first. And back to what I was saying. Michael Jackson, Prince, Freddie Mercury, Stevie Nicks, Tina Turner, Little Richard. Those are pioneer people that when you think of rock and you think of the connection rock has rich in history of black people and their pioneers, I would not be surprised that this connection from there to then the Cowboy Carter, the opening set of Cowboy Carter, which will be happening on April 28th in Los Angeles. The connection of how the tour is going to kick off will tell me exactly how Beyonce is going to start off her next tour, as well as how the Act 3 is going to be like. Because remember, she did a 16 costume change for the Balmain commercial ad, and those designs were part of the visuals in the background of the Renaissance. Flash forward to the Cowboy Carter, as well as the Verizon commercial that was for Cowboy Carter when it was released. It referenced different things. It's not just country. She's referencing rock in some weird way or form. And tying all of these in, this is going to be insane. Because Act 3 could be right in front of us and we don't even know it yet. Like I said, Act 3 will have something to do with Lady Gaga. It will have something to do with Stevie Nicks, because she's going to do her research and how black people works with rock. And this will be something very interesting, how she's reclaiming certain spaces that were originally or connected to black culture. She even gave us more tease, because if you look back on her British Vogue commercial covers magazines, this was one of the covers that she gave us besides the Renaissance, right? And each pose has a different aesthetic and appearance. And the Black Betty tour, which she announced in the background of the Renaissance, this is going to connect more to Black Betty, which is one of the rock pioneers along with Little Richard. So she's definitely doing her research. And I remember, shout out to Beyonce Ave. She's been doing such an amazing work covering Beyonce things, so you guys should definitely check her stuff out. She's really inspired me to make more videos like this as well. The Beyonce cover she did for Halloween, she's channeling and essencing Prince, the way she was dressed. And we didn't see, if you look at Beyonce's vinyl for Cowboy Carter, there's a cover where Beyonce's hair is completely black. And this look reminds me of one of the covers. If I think what she's planning on doing, we're about to see something that we haven't seen since Michael Jackson, right? And all of this cover, and I've been saying this, the flag looks like it's going backwards, but Beyonce's body's going backward, but the horse is pulling the American flag forward, indicating that we're jumping into a new era. And she's becoming more and more patriotic, but in a way where it is unapologetic. The Cowboy Carter is unapologetic. It's similar to Lemonade, but not. It's unapologetic but subtle. Like, it's a lot of references for this album. And if you look at the Beyonce Bowl, that truck was following around the Coachella set when Haley Bailey performed. Beyonce Kelly Rowland went to go see her, and everybody thought she was going to do something in Coachella, but no, she was just cruising around, just pit stopping and learning what people were doing at that time. And the way she was dressed, this reminds me of rock. It did not remind me of country. Like that, the way she was dressed, this looked like a shawl. Like I'm telling you, Beyonce and Stevie Nicks has a connection as well. Because if you remember the Bootylicious video, Stevie Nicks was part of it, playing one of the guitars or whatever she was doing at that time. Beyonce and Stevie Nicks has a little connection, and I can't wait if she ever brings Stevie Nicks into that space. Oh, this is gonna be sick. It's gonna be so freaking sick. And like I said, she was throwing up the rock sign with Kelly Rowland when they went to the Coachella set. I think, was it 2023? I think it was 2023 or 2024. But that's what she was doing. It's very interesting how she's doing the rollouts now. Even though she's doing interviews, she's not doing that much interviews to the point where to be seen. This is very interesting. Like I said, I will be making a part 6 of this connection, which my next focus will be on the larger scope of what she planned on doing with the visuals, and I think I'm gonna stop it there. The next 2 parts will be me focusing on the Beyonce tour, which I've announced that I will be going on the Beyonce tour, so you guys will get the tour experience, which I will be recording everything, and I can't wait to share this with you guys. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. This is gonna be fun. We're gonna meet people, we're gonna have more subscribers, we're gonna enjoy life and the best way we can. God bless. Make sure you guys stay safe out there. Love you guys, and let's make this a positive year. Okay guys, love you all. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Appreciate it.